been a while since I've done a YouTube video, any artwork. I've kind of don't do live videos all the time. Um, so they don't happen a lot. Um, I've been working a fair bit, except for New Year's, except for this week. It's been pretty slow with work. And I think that's just because there won't be much work until after the 4th, from my understanding that. And they had to take my work truck and take it to the garage. So if my work truck is down, guess what? I don't work because they won't stick me in one of their other trucks. Why, I don't know. I guess because I don't like Ford. And I don't like the Rangers we have because they're not very dependable. But because I drive a GMC with the company. It's down right now to have a braking system is supposedly messed up because they let one of the other foremen drive it the other day while they took his truck to be worked on. Therefore, they didn't work me so he could drive my truck. And he was saying because the truck has anti-lock braking system, which is not like a standard braking system that the Rangers have, where you hit the brake and it stands on its nose. The Sierra has an anti-lock braking system on it, so it is a gradual slowdown. When you stomp the brake, it's not going to stop like deadpan. So he thinks that there's something wrong with it, so they're downed it to take it to the garage, which I told my boss. I said, it's got anti-lock brakes, and he's not used to driving that truck. He's used to the Ranger with these touchy brakes. And she's like, yeah, that too. She's like, that's what I was thinking. She's like, but I'm still going to have it checked, so it knocked me out of a damn work day today. So, yeah, yeep, fun. So I started to the art instead of my work woes, as we call it, because we all know I'm very random. But instead of my work woes, we'll discuss this picture. My cat just was like bouncing off the back of me here. I started this drawing yesterday in the office, actually, at my job, which is probably why I had to work around there. But I started it with highlighters. I sketched it with a Ticonderoga No. 2 pencil. This is a tiny sketchbook, and this is not a Moleskine. I wish it was. I did have a Moleskine sketchbook this size 2 years ago. It was a fantastic little sketchbook, very heavy-duty paper, but this one is an off-brand. It is not a Moleskine. It is the Daler and Ronnie pocket sketchbook paper. My only complaint on this is the paper is not as thick or as heavy duty as I would like it to be. But what can you do for $2.95? But for a road book to doodle and do sketches and stuff in, it's not bad. I wouldn't recommend using highlighter. As you see, it bleeds through because it's not thick. This paper also will not handle watercolors. It's doing good just to hold ink pen. Like I'm using ballpoint pen. This one is a Papermate purple pen. I switched between Papermate and Bic. Nothing special, just, what you can get at Walmart or the dollar store or whatever. It doesn't have to be expensive to be effective. Sometimes with paper, though, you do have to get something a little bit more expensive to have quality, unfortunately. I thought this sketchbook was going to be better than what it ended up being because the paperweight seemed decent, and I say decent. I won't say crappy, poor, or bad. Decent enough to withstand most medias, but I was kind of wrong on that. I think next time I get a pocket sketchbook, I'll probably just go with the Moleskine. Can't go wrong with them. They're actually good sketchbooks. The one I did have, it was a Christmas present to me that year, so that's probably why I never have had another one. My camera angles are terribly bad. I try to show where I'm working, but I started wandering away because, again, I don't have a good setup, so I'm doing this one-handed. And I'm going to switch colors out here. Pen I'm switching to is a Bic pen. It's a green. It's hateful. It ain't been used in a while. I did use a photo of my cat that I took myself as a gently light reference for this face structure and expression because she's very expressive. So I used her as my model for this quick sketch because it literally was a very fast, quick sketch. And I'm not worrying about if the pen is smooth or blended overly well. I'm just doing lots of color play. I'm going to go in with black and sharpen this up a little bit and do the background. As you can see, a problem with this is when you're working, the paper likes to curl. And it being tiny doesn't help it. And yeah, it's P Lady's Pocket Sketchbook. It's mine. You touch it, you die. Which out on my job, everybody is in my sketchbooks constantly. I'm a sub company that works with Mountaineer Gas. I'm with a sub company that works with Mountaineer Gas. So I'm around traffic and gas lines all day, just about every day when I'm working for hours. And a new venture that I'm going to be trying in 2019 is going to be animation. I have always been interested in animation my entire life. Even as a small child, I had one of those animator machines where you would sit and draw and animate. Some of you are probably way too young to know what I'm talking about. Those that are older probably, and who are artists, probably do remember that little gadget. And I also did flip books and stuff like that. And as I matured, my family didn't have the money to provide me the tools that was needed for me to continue my ventures into animation. And at that time, anything pertaining to animation was expensive, ungodly, and not affordable to my family because we were poor. And therefore, I kind of stepped away from animation, even though it was something I always wanted to do, until here recently. I have done a few rogue animations, which I have posted here on YouTube, using Ibis Paint, which is not an animation program. It is a digital painting program you can get for $6, or use the free version and have all the annoying ads to get all the brushes that you want. I would just recommend getting the $6. It is not a bad program. It is similar to Photoshop. If you're a serious painter, Procreate's probably where you want to go because it's put out by Adobe. And Adobe products are good. I have a copy of Photoshop still that I got when I went to the Art Institute, when I went to art college. And so I still have my registered copy of that program. And so I use it instead of Procreate or anything like that when it comes to a computer. And yes, I do use a computer because some things you just can't use a tablet or a phone to do. Sometimes you still need the workhorse computer. to do a lot of certain things because tablets don't have the memory capacity to do a lot of it. That's tablets and phones' downfalls is you have to buy the space. Retarded. And they're limited on what they can do. Also retarded. Because some things cost a lot of money and should be able to do everything. So, and while iPad can do most anything and everything imaginable, even it has limitations. I use Apple products, so I can get away with saying that because I use an iPhone for a lot of my stuff that I do, but I have 2 different laptops too. I have a Sony Vaio, which is set up specifically for graphic design, art, and stuff of that nature. Which I had completely. It's an older computer, I'm not gonna lie, it's not new, but I paid and had it all updated to where it is like a brand new one now. So, only because I didn't want to go computer shopping. I already know what that computer's about. So I just paid a computer place who was reputable to update the entire device the way I wanted it to be. So it's like a brand new one now. Eventually, one day, I will go computer shopping and buy something else. I'm an indecisive individual, so it's hard for me to settle on what I want, if I want another Vaio or if I want a MacBook. I like both, so it makes it hard to pick. And can actually work and operate either. I've had and owned Mac computers before, and I don't have a problem with them, so. I'm just taking this black Bic pen and just accentuating a few things on this I won't even call it a portrait. My work-a-doodle. Doodle, doodle, doodle. My big piece for 2019 will be unveiled tomorrow. It's finally finished. Yay, yay, yay. Have quite a bit of workload already for 2019. I have a lot of it done. I've got one I gotta finish. Start and finish, should I say. It's another crack ship pup for Kitarami. I do a lot of stuff for her. She's like an adopted twin sister of mine, so she gets a lot of things from me. Good kid. Good gal. I'm just kind of taking this background black. For people who are wanting to know if I do commissions, I'm always open for commissions. The only thing you gotta do is just DM me. I wouldn't say email me because considering that my email is up to 3,000 and some emails, you can probably guess I don't check that regularly. Don't message me on Amino about commissions because 9 times out of 10, where I'm on several, I'm probably not going to check any of my Amino messages unless it's on Purgatory Inner Demons, which is my Amino. And I try to be diligent because obviously that is my Amino and I own it. So I try to check every message that comes through there because I am the agent leader and owner of that Amino. So, but if it's other ones that I am not staffing and I just post on to post, chances of me answering what you post on my wall or messages is slim to none. You're better off messaging me on Facebook. And for people who don't know who I am on Facebook, I am P Lady Wolf Blade. My 9-year-old account is gone. It has been deleted off Facebook. Facebook deleted it over a bunch of bullshit with artists bullying me across social media. It costed me my original account of 9 years, lost all my friends, all my content, everything I had because Facebook did not back it up like they said they would and send it to me. It was a big mess. So I have a new account on there. It's P Lady Wolf Blade. I keep everything clean, nice, neat, and everything else. I strictly use it for my art and to keep in touch with some of my family members and friends, which are not on other social medias. And I am not there to have drama or be attacked by other people. I mind my own business. So, but I can be messaged on there. And I answer pretty promptly if I am not at work, or if I am not driving, if I am driving somewhere or at work, which also entitles me driving because I am a lead slash trainer, so I am driving 99.9% of the time at work. I get motion sick, so I just about always have to be driving. I can't be passenger. P Lady gets sick. So yeah, Facebook Messenger is probably the safest way to go about it. Just be sure you label it commission or inquiring about art or something pertaining to art. That way I know, because I get a lot of BS requests sent to me from people fishing with fake accounts, and you have to be really careful because that happens a lot on Facebook. And once you answer it, then they get all your information and hack your account. I believe that's what happened with my original. That costed all the rage and the hate and me to lose it. So I am more careful with this one due to that fact. And there are a lot of fake accounts that send friend requests. If you accept it or you accept the message, they got your information. They hack your account and your account gets disabled off of Facebook. So please, if you message me on Messenger, label it commission, or I'm inquiring about art, possibly purchasing artwork or something art related, and I will get back to you on it. I would say just text my phone number, but I'm not going to put my cell phone number out there for people either, because I don't want random calls, I don't want random texts, I don't want, you get where I'm going with this. It's nothing personal. My cell phone is my work phone for both where I'm actually employed now and personal work dealing with my artwork. But that's beside the point. Doesn't mean I want everybody having the number. And that's just because you can't trust people this day and age. Safety precaution. Because like I said, I have problems with people, even though I'm a decent individual myself, doesn't mean everybody is. So I've learned that the hard way. When people have hacked my cell phone, I've had it all happen to me. I've had people hack them, fry it, cost me lots of money. Not cool. But you can see how the black pen is really making some of the stuff pop and stand out. I wanted to do something on this and do a little bit of a live video since I haven't done one in a while, because I get to a stopping point on this. I'm gonna go get stuff that I need from Walmart. I had a few things happen this morning that was kind of unexpected, so Walmart. So, but I do commissions. My commissions start 25 and up. Digital, I'm a little different on pricing on that. That's something you would have to inquire about because I am not the best digital artist out there. So clearly my digital stuff is probably going to be somewhat cheaper than anything traditional. Keep that in mind too. My style with digital is very odd. I'm a traditional media artist, not really a digital one, even though I understand digital concepts and things about digital artwork, because obviously I went to college that dealt with design, which graphic design is digital based media. So obviously I understand the fundamentals of it. I just have my own style with it, so like everybody has, and my style isn't always a digital style that is liked, and that is fine because I can get why. It's a strange style, even for me. It's strange because it's not the style that I want my digital art to really have, but it's what keeps reoccurring with it every time I create something digital. I did, and getting back to my 2019 big deal thing that I'm going to try to do is I purchased animation courses from the famous popular animator Aaron Blaise. I'm sure everybody knows him online. His courses for drawing and stuff like that is pretty famous. He's a big name in the art world and animation world. And I heard good things about his animation courses because I was interested in doing animation. I have been, like I said, for a very long time. So I decided to get his courses on animation that he offers. Keep in mind, I did not pay the full price for his courses. I am aware of what they run and everything else. I hit the New Year's sale and paid half that price, which was still a chunk of cash, mind you. But I think it's going to be worth it because I have a goal. I want to do animation. And I figured since he has a lot of experience because he did animation for Disney, that his course would probably be the best one to take because he breaks things down to where you understand them. And that's what I need. Because the way that most courses are taught, I don't grasp in that way. Not saying I'm a stupid creature, I learn differently. So, that being said, I figured that his courses would probably best suit how I learn because I just learn differently, I guess. And his stuff is explained thoroughly. His videos are very long. His downloads take a while. But it is worth it in the end because you understand everything clearly, how it needs to be done. But the goal is to learn how to do it properly and well. Maybe do an animated map to music as something, after I get the fundamentals down. And which won't be easy thing to do. It'll be semi-hard. But it would be a good assignment to do once I've learned the fundamentals, because it would be pushing and challenging. And then from that, I would love, and a goal would be to work towards maybe possibly making a movie based on Purgatory. I have people telling me I should write books about Purgatory and its cast. I am no kind of writer, I am an artist. So, the best way I could think of delivering what people are wanting is to try to do an animated movie. That is an extremely huge thing to want to achieve, because that is a lot of work, especially knowing that I would probably be the only person who would be working on it. Take forever. But I think it would be interesting and it would be fun. It would be a good learning process. And it would also deliver what people keep asking me for. Because I can't write. Like, I can role play and stuff, but I can't write. I can't, like, make a book on what's in my head. I can't. I go blank. It's just not there. It's just not going to happen. I'm just not, I can't. And they're like, well, you can pay somebody to write down your thought. I can't explain it in a way to where somebody would be able to write it the way that I would want it to be written. But I can draw it. But see, the thing is, I would still have to have dialogue and stuff like that to go with it. And that I think I could maybe do with help. But as far as writing an actual book, I don't think that I could do that. But I would like to try to do the animated movie of it. It may not explain everything the way everybody wants it done, but I don't think that my cast should be explained 100% either. I like some mystery to be there. But I think that's something that I could work towards if I work really hard and I don't get lazy and procrastinate on doing it and stuff, and am able to do it. Would be very interesting. But it would probably be like how Miyazaki does. He does really long animated movies. I would like to do something long like that. And kind of detailed. I wouldn't want to do like super simplistic things like, I don't know what to compare it with, but I don't know. It's just a thought. It's like everybody has this new year, new me crap that they want to do. Instead of this new me, new year, new me BS that everybody does, I figured, I'll learn something new for the new year. I'll learn how to do something that's always interested me. Or try to learn it. I think that's a more fair word. Try to learn it. Try to attempt it. Try to be good at it. And work towards and set some goals to work towards with what I'm learning new or what I want to learn new, and see if I can achieve it. I'm not saying I will be able to achieve what I want to do. It's just it's a goal that I would like to reach. Doesn't mean I will reach it, but it's something I'd like to do. And I've thought about what Purgatory would be like as animated movie for a while, a real long while. But the thing of it is, I wouldn't know whether to do it in quadruped or do it as a quad. Well, quadruped or bipedal. Yeah, bipedal is the word I'm thinking. I don't know where the hell my head went to. It's too early in the morning to be thinking about stuff like this, but yep. Don't know whether to make them four-leggers or two-leggers. In other words, where form or quad form. I'm thinking the easier would probably be quadruped. Considering, I wouldn't be no freaking senior ass animator or anything like that. I would be rather green. I just kind of would think of what would be somewhat easier to do. And human-like hands are the devil to me. So it would probably be better just to do quadruped forms. Given their wear forms are a lot more cooler. But it could be done on the quadruped form too, just as cool, I think. I would think, anyways. But I think it would deliver something to the people who are interested and curious about it. But as far as writing a story or a novel or something like that, unfortunately, I'm not one of those artists that can actually sit down and write something out and make it to where it's novel-like material. It would read like a role play, basically, and I don't think anybody would want to read a book like that. Now, back a long time ago when it originally started, it was a graphic novel I was working on in traditional media, which in one of the books I actually switched from the black and white media I was using to watercolor because I was going to try to switch and do the one book all in color, and then I switched back to doing it black and white in the middle of that particular book, which was stupid. But, I had moments of greatness back when I started doing it. And did all the covers, the poster art, the full panel art, It originally started out as something to cope with something that happened in my personal life. And it didn't start out being post-apocalyptic, really, like it turned out being, which is what I think most people like about it, is it turned into something more than it started out as. And the original cast, some of them are still with what it turned into today, but some of them are not still with the cast that are part of it now. I'm going to put my signature in that little box, that's why I put that there. But because the mouse character, it was based on the person who put me through a lot of the issues that I was trying to deal with at the time. They're not in my life anymore. So he's not part of the cast anymore. Some people have came and went, and so have their alter egos. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of it is based on actual real people that I know in real life. It's not the original storyline and stuff like that wasn't made up a bit. It was altered a little bit from what really happened, somewhat to protect the people to protect the individuals, I guess. In a way. But also to make it flow and be interesting as a story. So a few of the real life events had to be done a little differently for the graphic novel itself, which never got a script written for it. It never had words, just pictures and images and panels and the cast and such, but it didn't have the post-apocalyptic feel to it that it has now. It turned into that as my life evolved and turned into shit and continued to be shit. So I started drawing my world the way I see my world. So it evolved from what became a painful experience and a way to cope and deal with it into something that's how I cope and deal with everything now. So, purgatory is always changing because purgatory itself always changes, if that makes any sense to anybody whatsoever. So, it is something that is always changing, always evolving, and it's always different, and it's never going to be the same way when you look at it again. So, much like its namesake, purgatory became something totally different than what it originally manifested as. And that's okay because, my life has kind of changed from when all that happened to what it is now. And I feel like a lot of times I'm in hell. So, I draw post-apocalyptic stuff because that's what I feel like I'm in anymore. A post-apocalyptic hell. Chaos everywhere. Drama everywhere. Constant bickering, fighting, bullshit. So I just draw it as I see it. It's kind of like calling it like you see it. I draw it like I see it. Sometimes that picture ain't pretty and sometimes it is. Art is the window of the soul to the person who is creating it. If your art has no soul, then you have no creativity. I think art should be a reflection of the artist. If you do your art's going to be unique, different, and everybody's going to recognize something about it. If you try to be like everybody else, like a clone artist, and be like all the other artists that are out there, you're not going to stand out. You're just going to blend in with the millions of artists that draw just alike or similar to each other, and you're never going to stand out that way. It's always better to be the black sheep and stand out than to be like everybody else. I'm a black sheep. I used to be a well-known artist back in the day. Not so much now. My art's very different. It does very different things all the time. It's always changing. It's always different. But back in the day, I always thought it was cool to be a clone and not be true to who I was as an artist. And that worked for me then. But when you try to be true, people think, well, that ain't... She's changed her style. She's changed this. She's changed that. No, I didn't change shit about myself. The only thing I ever did was be a clone artist. Try to have a style that everybody could identify with and like, because I thought that that's what you had to do to be in the art world. And then I learned that you could just be yourself and stand out, and the right people will like you, and the wrong ones, well, they're not gonna like you. That's it. All artists have that niche that they fit into. I'm a wear artist. I love doing wares and wearer animals and skulls and kind of off the wall weird stuff. I also am not afraid to do hardcore adult based artwork. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I think it's an art image. It's art. It shouldn't be offensive. People shouldn't take offense to something that is drawn by somebody. It can be disturbing, but yet pleasing, I guess. And while this that I'm working on is not anything special or deep or meaningful or anything like that, and I do some stuff like this just to be drawing sometimes, and I think all artists do this. Barely left myself enough room for my signature. Call her Colorful Kitty because I don't know what else, lack of a better title. I don't know what else to call it. I've got ink poop all over my hand because I'm left-handed. But there you have it. Oops. I tilted the camera wrong, and it's like, ee, screw you. But anyway, there's our fruits of our labor of a cheap dollar store. 3 or 4, was it 4? Yeah, I used a yellow and pink and a blue highlighter. That's all I used on this. And then I used a bunch of ballpoint pens on a cheap ass little pocket sketchbook that you can get at Walmart. So it just goes to show the pens were like 89 cents. So in a package they were coupons. So I mean, hell, there's not a lot of money in this here. So, but anyway, thank you for joining me on finishing up my colorful little kitty here on YouTube and listen to me randomly ramble about stuff that didn't even pertain to this drawing. And you guys have a good day.